Welcome to another edition of the Doncaster preview, this time for Monday the 31st of October. We kick off with an A1 contest in the very first race at 6:09. All these races can be seen live on Racing Post Ground TV tonight. I thought it was a tough enough race, an open race. Keep thinking that Rosanda Bondi will win very, very soon in this top-end company. Got a decent draw with Ballymac Brookmore of a stayer alongside in box 2. Glitter G in trap 3. She's coming off a break since March. She actually had a litter of pups in June, I believe. So she might just need the run, though. She has had plenty of trials to come back on the car. She was a good A1 bitch, but she might just need this to blow the cobwebs away. Katie Warrior in trap 4. He's a greyhound that's got a nice bit of ability and could easily go around in front here, so will be a danger. Swift Lethal likewise can trap. She's a really good bitch on the front end, but she will need to clear her inside neighbour, and she probably just edge in a little bit from 5. A bit of a thing looks up against it after a couple of wins in lower grade. So all in all, I was kind of 1 and 4, maybe 5, and it was a no bet race in the end for me. Whereas in race 2, we're going into A3 company here, and I thought it was massive 2 runners, a really good playing race, this one. Not enormous value, but I can't let this race go unbacked. 2, Rycroft Nix is the most likely winner. She's a bit of a thinker. She's a staying type, but I think she'll turn in a pitch here. And I think that Racket Hall Sonic in trap 3 will lead the race. The Real Deal's got a little bit of early, but I think Racket Hall Sonic on the inside of that one has got slightly better early pace. Jamara Smile won a weak A4 last time out. It's massively up in grade. And the 5 and the 6, Glenn Adamab Bazo and also Millcroft Move It, don't look like they're running that well. They're going through the motions in a lot of respects. So I was going to bet 2 Rycroft Nicks to follow 3 round and come from off the back and win. In the third race, a tough race, 3 the field race again for me. Moneyhill Dude has got a good makeup on the inside. Bit of a quirky character, but he could just do enough here leading. He's got a good draw as well with Val Blonde, just edging off a little bit, a slow breaker and more of a staying type. Brennan's Danny will be edging in a little bit. She ran all right. She's about nearly 11 weeks out of season now, so she could improve, but she won a poor B5. It's a bit of an up in grade here. Kramer, he ran well last week, got his box as well 4, so he could be up there disputing the lead early doors. Pinocchio Jim was beaten by Moneyhill Dude when they both got beat behind Moss Panda. That was his first effort over this trip, but he cuts the bend a little bit, so he'd have to really smash clear, and I don't think he can do that here. Keedy Yo-Yo is another one that's dropped in grade, but really going through the motions and still doesn't look right. So maybe 1 to make all, but I was a bit afeared that Kramer might get into a speed battle with him. So in the end, it was a no bet in the third race. In the fourth, I did have a little nibble here, although the price has probably contracted a little bit. Track 1 Barnfield Orchid is a dog that I quite like. He's got a little bit of early, only just gets home. A Racket All Lotto, his next door neighbour in 2, will edge off a little bit for him. As a nice youngish sort of putt for Kelly Tobin, could be rattling home late. Canal View King, I don't think he's quite in the form he was maybe a couple of months ago, but he has got a bit of pace, to be fair. Born Dream looks up against it in 4. Civil Jack's always a dog you could frame up. He will move into lane 4 from 5, which does give Dawn's Night a really good makeup here. She is probably a big danger to Barnfield Orchid, but she's priced accordingly now. There's a bit of a nibble for her as well. So I was kind of 1 and 6 there. Whether you can get any value out of them, I'm not so sure now. In race 5, I like this race. It's a real good B2 to sort of delve into. Ragtime Lenny did us a favour a couple of runs back. And again, he was about a 4 or 5 to 1 chance early doors. He's coming to about 5 to 2 now, but it's going to be a little small bet for PL here in trap 2. Just got to clear the newcomer in red, Melody's Pearl, who didn't look a mucher in Derry and Drumbo. So I'm hoping that can be the case. Bashful Jess, she's up against it in 3. Ardera Boss is a dog I like. If he comes out of the boxes here, he'll be a big danger. So I'm going to save on the 4, Ardera Boss. Bar is also a dog that I like, but I don't think he can clear both 2 and 4 into the turn, and he's a front runner. The frame-up dog, again, is Free Inside, who won her 100th race last week, bless her. She's up in grade, obviously, here, but she could run on late in the day. But I was 2 on top of 4, a small play race in the 7-18. The 6th race, a real tough race. There's been money for the new dog of Sean Parker's here, Killybeg's Bell in trap 2. She's a staying type, a good news bitch, and she did run all right on her debut. She still got to get that run through early, and the price has contracted now, so I was going to pass her by here. Bring It On Madison would probably lead the race. Doesn't always do a lot in front, so it could be a bit messy. And it could play into the hands of Killybeg's Bell, but the prices, was happy just to leave that one alone. The 7th race, a 5-dog affair, trap 6 is vacant here. Read the Rules ran all right on his return to the 450-metre trip after being a spell of sprinting. And Head It On Lenny, actually generally known as a 4-bend greyhound, she was sprinting, went off the card a little bit lame, and she actually ran against Read the Rules when they were both sprinting. And I just felt if Head It On Lenny could get a decent break here, could actually dominate this race. Around about a 3-to-1 chance, maybe worth a real tiny interest bet in the 7th. In race 8, again, another toughish sort of race. Runners are 1, 4 and 5 here. But I just sided with Jamara Bloom. I think to get first jump on this field was a fair price. I put this one down as a small bet, about 7-2. Was a bit bigger, but still, I make Jamara Bloom the favourite on top of Mulcair Dawn in red, and Dathy's Rosie was a little bit disappointing for us last week. Still an exposed mind, and I suppose there could be better to come. But I didn't fancy 3 or 2 or 6 there. They were double-digit prices for me there. The 9th race, another real tough race to work out. Walkaway Demi's got some kind of squeeze on the inside. Barnside Bonnie ran all right and won in lower grade. Wildcats Kitty should lead the race in trap 3, but she's only just getting home, so I'm not too sure whether she's ready to win as yet. Eden Bolt is not really much of a greyhound. Blistering Star, slow old breaker running on late, and Racket All Peppers coming off a fair old break. So all in all, I didn't see a lot of value on offer there. 10th race is the best bet on the card. We move into the 3 sprints that tail the card here. And Penny's Candy, she's got a little bit of an ease in class here. She's been running against Coolmore Blakey and Ballroom Boris, and really they're sort of sprinting top-end D1 dogs. And I thought she had a decent makeup here. Just get any kind of decent break, she'll lead, and then she'll win pretty straightforward there. The only possible danger could be an improver, which is Midas Trelea in trap 4, but I thought there was a fair bet. Penny's Candy was as big as 3-1 on the earlies, which was ridiculous. Now around about a 2-1, 7-4 mark, but I do make her shorter than that. I think she's a good thing. In the 11th race, I kept falling for Mila Pippin. It's not much of a race again, this. Got a decent makeup with Mohawk Rosie in the race moving off, but I think Mohawk Rosie could easily go bang, lead and hold Mila Pippin. I was 2 on top of 1. I nearly made this a playing race, but as I was typing them out, the prices contracted. So in the end, it's just going to be a watching race for me because the prices are far, far too short. I didn't fancy the outside 4 dogs there at all. In the lucky last, I like On the Booze here, trap 2. On the Booze into and Classic Quattro 1. They meet each other on a regular occasion. It's 2-1 to On the Booze of late. That's when Classic Quattro actually came out of a box. He reversed the form, but I think if On the Booze gets any kind of decent break here, it's got the best early in the race, will dominate. Round about just over the 2-1 mark was a bet, but just get your money back with Classic Quattro just in case he does get a better break. So they were the selections then. Let's see if I can get the still up for you here. Just go through these. Then 628. Trap 2, Rycroft Nick should win all right, around about 7-4. No bargain, but I think he'll win and just save your stake on Racket All Sonic. In the 718, Trap 2, Ragtime Jimmy was a proper bet at 4-1, but that price has collapsed into 5-2, but still made him slightly shorter. Just save money again on Ardera Boss, who's got a chance to lead down the middle. Small bet in the 817, Trap 5, Jamara Bloom to make all. Nap on the card is the 854, Trap 1, Penny's Candy, around about a 7-4 chance. And in the 928, we're On the Booze in front of Classic Quattro. Hope we find a few winners tonight. Be lucky.